in the lecture titled Reality Code Expansion, I spoke about the codes, and and I want to bring up that definition again because this plays a very important role. The definition presented, this is in Wikipedia. A code is a rule for converting a piece of information into another form or representation. So a code is a rule for converting a piece of information into another form or representation. So basically, codes are programs, and programs are codes. Okay, that's going to mean quite a bit as we go along here. So codes carry information and are the information itself. The idea of referring to the human body as a machine, a computer, is disturbing to some as our minds immediately draw on or envision soulless technology, such as computers and machines, that which has no consciousness as we understand consciousness to be. Basically, these are objects that have no ability to be self-aware. This is what we feel, and this is, what this is how we make that comparison. So when I say, or anybody mentions a computized aspect in terms of the human body or operating like a machine, that's what we immediately jump to. But again, I'm always saying that we have to redefine and begin to understand more about the idea of technology, because that's how the cosmos was designed, on that same principle. That is technology. That is technology. It's the molding of energy, the shaping of into some sort of form, and that is technology. On our level, we're used to machinery and all these various things that we create using the same principles, but these, of course, are just inanimate objects without the capacity that we have without that. So there is a difference, but at the same time, our bodies are a mechanism designed based on similar principles. So humans are a concept, and here we go, a program. No, I'm going to explain that. Like all things, humans are a concept, an idea. Everything is a concept. Everything is an idea. When I interviewed Muji, he said the same thing. He says, yes, everything is just a concept. It's an idea. So the idea, now take yourself out of the equation. So in a sense of taking it in personally like that, what I'm saying is the idea of humankind, humans as we know it, is a program, like a written program for human beings. It is an idea acted upon through the experiences of these bodies. So what I'm saying is that there is a general blueprint for the human model or human, the expression then, not just the body, but a blueprint of general possibilities, various stages of possibilities, of course not limited by the blueprint, but unless you awaken to certain levels of realization, then you will operate only within those boundaries. So again, I'm not saying that we are limited. The purpose of me doing this workshop is also I'm a part of all the workshops that I do. I'm learning while when I'm doing these workshops, and we're all in this together from that standpoint. So what I'm saying is we're not limited. I'm showing how we're not limited, but at the same time, I'm showing how we have engaged in a limitation because there is a general blueprint that we've been operating by. So let's see. I want to go into the blueprint aspect, blueprint program aspect. Picture the blueprint of a house or building designed with many hidden compartments, tunnels, rooms, etc. But only the architect and the builders are aware of these areas of the building. Many people can occupy the building or house for years completely unaware that these hidden components to the they're hidden components to the building until one day someone finds the blueprint and discovers these hidden areas. And sometimes the blueprint isn't even found, but somehow somebody wanders onto an area of that house, just out of nowhere. They wander onto it and realize that there are these hidden compartments. Well, it is the same with these houses we occupy, these vessels, these bodies. The challenge we have faced as human beings is that we have lost sight of this knowledge. And this has been for, quite some time, almost from the very get-go of coming into these bodies, basically. And so what happens is we expire time and time again before awakening to this knowledge. We're going to use the word expire so that we can better understand the idea of death. When we talk about death, we want to understand that from that standpoint, that you're literally expiring like a program. We can also refer to this blueprint as a written program. Much of what we will be discussing will be explained and explored using computer references. And this is very important, as the only way for us to really stretch our minds and open our perception is to examine the overall construct from the mind of the cosmic scientist that we are. And that's very important. I'm saying we are actually having to stretch our minds again and open our perception from the standpoint of these cosmic scientists that we ultimately really are. Otherwise, we will continue to operate based on the fairy tales. And that's okay too, to operate based on those fairy tales. But for the people that are here right now, and the people that will see this or hear this later on, you're here today and you're listening in the future to this because it is evident that this is the direction that you wish to go in. You are here in that mode of discovering much more profoundly and much more deeply. So now we're going to go on to deleting. I'm sorry, we're going to go on to the cycles, go into talking about the cycles. The concept of a human being, again, as I said, is a program set up to allow the existence of the life of a human being to run, as we call it, to live for a predestined number of cycles. And these cycles are regulated mainly in our visual or view of the cosmos. The sun and the moon have been the regulators of the cycles. The moon, I targeted the moon as very significant in its role, especially the fact that with women tied into the 28-day cycle of the moon. To me, that was a huge giveaway. And of course, I didn't see it for a long time, but it was a huge giveaway as to what was going on. Now, although most people are aware of the passing of cycles and their general effect on human life, they are not aware of the true nature of the boundaries set by these cycles. We are not aware of a programmed confinement to the general blueprint or program, so we can refer to it as blueprint or program. The most obvious